Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the preview. Cardiff City versus Everton. We're in a hotel in Dortmund. Just throwing that out there. I know it doesn't look like our normal set, but that's where we are. But obviously, listen, first things first. We're going to see the yellow wall later, but that doesn't matter. All that matters right now is Cardiff City versus Everton. Everton currently find themselves in 11th place after a draw for Bournemouth, after wins for Watford and West Ham, and we've slipped down a couple of places. And this now is it's a massive game now, isn't it? I think just to put to bed any fears of a relegation fight, not relegation, so it's just a relegation fight, and those worries that can bring, because teams like Crystal Palace won as well. And Cardiff are also sniffing at our tail, so to speak. So it's dead important we get 3 points for this game, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the results, it's been a good thing Everton having a bit of a break. I think everyone's recharging the batteries, not only the players, I think the fans are as well. But obviously the problems that come with that are everybody else's results. And we saw Watford go to Cardiff on Friday night and batter them 5-1, and we've seen West Ham beat Fulham, and like you just said, Bournemouth and Wolves drew. Leicester were battered at home, which resulted in Claude Puel being sacked. So we slipped down a couple of places. We're now looking over our shoulders. I'm not saying, I still think we're more than good enough to win 3 or 4 of our remaining 11, but we have to prove. That's no point talking about a quality of the squad and saying, we've got really good players. It's up to the players to prove themselves, and Tuesday now is a huge game.
Yeah, the way I look at it, you just said Watford, winning 5-1 down there. That to me is the market. If anyone watched that game, Gerard Deulofeu scoring a hat-trick, Pace absolutely destroyed them at the back. For me, we've got to go there on Tuesday and puff out a chest and say, right, you're the team under pressure, not us. You probably thought a few, before the Watford game, this was going to be one of those games you'll mark down to win at home, which they still will do. But by us beating them on Tuesday, that for me would say, right, there's enough of a gap now between us and Cardiff that we shouldn't have to worry about that anymore. And if that's the way we play, and if that's with the ambition we go there with, ahead of a Merseyside derby, if we win on Tuesday, we're going to a Merseyside derby without really any stress of anything else, and thinking, right, this is all about winning 3 points. I think that's the attitude we've got to take into Tuesday. Go down and say, we're winning this, we're puffing our chest out and doing everything we can. And for me, that's just the attitude they need to take into the game.
Got to put the pressure on them. They're a team, all right, they've won 2 of the last 3, but home to Watford after a couple of good results, they'll have been expecting to get something from that and looking forward to it. And to lose in the manner in which they lost is obviously a crushing blow, confident-wise. And I know Neil Warnock will be trying to, stress the positives and say we've won 2 of the last 3, but when the first goal again will be vital in this game. And I suppose what the Watford result should do for Everton is expose some of their frailties. They won't have Oumar Niasse as well, who's been, a focal point for them, I suppose. But defensively, pace-wise, they can struggle at the back, Cardiff. And, maybe this is a game where you play Walcott through the middle or something like that. You mix it up a little bit, or Dominic Calvert-Lewin from the off and get them turned. Let's get in behind them. And, like you say, we beat these. We put them 3 or 4 wins behind us, basically. And with it's going to be 10 games remaining. That's a tough ask. And the other thing is you're putting pressure on Southampton. You're further away from them. And all that does is, you're right, it just delays any of those concerns. And you look up then and start going, right, we've got Liverpool at home Sunday. Let's see what we can do. And then we've got a trip away at Newcastle.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Because, Newcastle have won over the weekend as well. That group has got closer to us. And it's horrible when you're looking at the league and going, I hope. You're looking at the teams above us and going, I hope they take points, and hope they take points, and hope they take points. When really we should be thinking, I want that team below us to lose, so because then Watford are not getting away from us and Wolves are not getting. And at the moment, I just don't feel like that. I feel like I want everyone below us to lose, because whether people believe we could potentially fall into a relegation battle, 33 points at this stage of the season is just not good enough. I mean, what did we finish with last season? 52, was it? Something like that. So we're a good what? 4 wins.
6 wins.
Exactly. At least behind where we were last season. And that's the mantle you've got to carry into next season. And we should be looking at these games: Cardiff away, Newcastle away, Fulham away, and think we should be taking all 3 points. Okay, form suggests otherwise, but you look at some of the plays we've got, you should be feeling like that, but none of us are not. And it's an interesting shout. You just said there, Theo Walcott through the middle. He's been played on the right. We know he's not having a good time. But listen, we're talking about a striker, or certainly someone who played striker at Arsenal, who was scoring between 15 and 20 goals, every season from the right and the centre. So he's obviously someone who can finish. So obviously can score goals. Why don't we try and kill 2 birds with 1 stone and say, you know what, we've tried so many more other options up front. We've seen what Gerard Deulofeu did to them on Friday night. Let's have a little bit of that and let's change it up a bit and go, come on, Theo, onus on you. You're an experienced player. That's the position you always said you wanted to play for Arsenal. Go and do it for us now.
Well, it's a stand up and be counted for Theo Walcott. He come in, I thought last season he did very well. This season he started off okay and it's gradually got worse for him, whereas he's just not effective. But I think the best thing about Walcott is his runs. He's got intelligent runs as when he tries to bend his run and get in behind people. I don't think playing on the right, he's not giving us enough there. So we've tried Cenk Tosun through the middle. It hasn't worked. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, one game works and then the next game it doesn't seem the same. Richarlison worked for a while, but then that's petered off. So it's what you do from that stage. Walcott, his last season as a centre-forward for Arsenal, got 23 goals. We haven't really used them. So it's certainly an option to try him. But if he doesn't go with Walcott, then I'd like to see him go with Dom, because I want someone who can get in behind their defence and really cause them problems.
See, I think with someone like Walcott, if you're going to play Sigurdsson, which, 9 times out of 10 you'd expect he would play Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson can find that pass. No matter what anyone says he can't do, we've seen he can find that pass. And if Walcott has got intelligent movement and manages to stay on side, then we can benefit from that. And no matter what anyone says, we've tried every other combination. Why is it about time that we said, you know what? If we've got something, we've got someone with absolute burning pace up front that at the least we can just throw a ball over the top and try and catch these out. Doesn't forget about everything else. Theo Walcott playing up front would be an out ball, at least. And if you're playing someone like Cardiff City, sometimes that's all you'd need. All right, maybe against the better sides, that's not always going to work. But against someone like Cardiff, that should be the basic. Just get them up the pitch, turn them round, start playing higher up the pitch, and then hope that your better players can capitalise on that. And I don't think the centre forwards we've had playing for us quite understand the position playing on their own. And I'm not saying Theo Walcott would, but I just think his pace would alleviate that. Dom's got great pace, but he doesn't. It's not like lightning pace. It's almost like, well, the first 50 metres will be neck and neck, and then I'll get past you. That doesn't really work in football when it's a foot race. You need someone like. I think we just need to give him a chance because, as I say, what other options have we got?
Well, I think the thing with Walcott is because of who he is and his experience, the opposition know about him. So therefore, there's that bit of respect, I think, and they have to play maybe 5 yards further back because Neil Warnock knows him, of course, and will be saying he'll want to get in behind. You're going to have to make sure you either catch him offside. And Theo may be offside a few times, but then he may get through. It's then can he finish if he gets through. But if you had Richarlison, say, one side and Walcott through the middle and maybe Bernard the other side or Adamola Lookman the other side or whatever, okay, we're not going to be throwing crosses into the box because Theo's not going to get in the end with start winning headers in there. But then again, Cardiff's strengths are probably clearing crosses into the box with the head because the 2 big lads play centre-back. Yeah. So you have to try and do it a different way. If Everton can win this game, then it's a positive, and it's a bit like when we went to Huddersfield, let's be honest. We went up to Huddersfield and it was a must-win game, and Huddersfield had just had a few more positive results. Okay, City had just beat them 3-0, but in general, we were a little bit tougher to beat. And we knew it was a big game because we'd just been beaten by Millwall. And I feel like this game's the same. We're going to a team who were a better side than Huddersfield, will cause us more problems than Huddersfield did. But it's the same kind of games, a lot of pressure on the players, but they've had a good break.
Yeah.
And, they should be ready to go. Hopefully the batteries are recharged. And if we can get out, get the first goal, work hard, get around the pitch, like we did against Man City in terms of pressing and keeping it nice and compact, there's no reason why we can't win this game. And then up to 36 points, you feel a little bit better about things, and it give the players a big boost as well.
Yeah, listen, you've just said yourself there, Cardiff are a better side than someone like Huddersfield. They'll work harder. They'll in positions, set pieces, they'll be more difficult. So it's still a tricky game for Everton, just because of the way we've been playing, just because what we've seen, the output of some of our players, just because we don't seem to have many leaders on the pitch. Hope Mina should be back, because he's going to have to be with there being no Kurt Zuma. So it's not going to be easy, but we've got to be able to deal. We've got to be able to match them up. As hard as they work, we've got to work harder. We've got to be able to be on it for the set pieces, as they'll be on it. Neil Warnock will have been working on that all week. And then just, if we get the basics right and work hard, hope that the extra bit comes in. But if we don't work hard and we don't get the basics right, then I don't think we'll win this game. So that's got to come first. You've got to win your battles before anything else happens. So for me, lads have got to turn up. Got to be leadership, and I hope that the little bit of a rest, there's not only been a rest physically, but a rest mentally, and some players have had a good look at themselves and said, well, what am I doing to help this situation? It's fantastic when I hear people go, oh yeah, but this fella's had a good season, and that fella's had a good season, and this fella's had a good season. Well, if you add them all up and they'd all had a good season, then Everton will have had a good season. So for me, nobody's had a good season, so it's about time some of them start turning up, especially with games like Liverpool on the horizon, and Manchester United at home, and Chelsea at home, and Arsenal at home. In them games, you've got to turn up and have a little bit more. So let's start turning up in these games, hoping we take the 3 points and just start edging ourselves up that table.
Yeah, really. Well, but that's the thing, isn't it? But I think Luca Dean's had a good season, just to go against what you just said. But I think you're right in general. As a team, we haven't performed. 33 points tells you where we are. So, we can say we've done okay in this game, and we've done okay for 3 months. Well, the season's 9 months. So we have to, at some stage, and I believe with the level of player we've got, that we will pick up, because we've got good players. But you're right, if we don't go and win a battle, it doesn't matter. If we're not organised, it doesn't matter. Cardiff have just played on Friday night and had a demoralising 5-1 home defeat. So for Everton, if Everton get in front in the game, in their minds, it's here we go again. We're struggling here, we're behind against these. And it's getting that first goal. Don't give them anything cheaply. Get at it from the very first whistle. Hopefully, like you just said, we'll be mentally refreshed, physically refreshed against a team that's played twice since we last played. And that's what it comes down to. And, we've got to go and perform. And if we don't go and perform, then we will quite rightly lose the game, or we won't win. And then that just adds more pressure going into the derby and stuff. So let's get out there, get the 3 points, and hopefully that'll be the start of us at least getting a little bit of momentum for the end of the season.
Yeah, there you have it. Hopefully 3 points. Hopefully the lads turn up. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Click the bell for alerts. Give us a big like on this video if you like it as well. And if you want more videos, come and join us over on Patreon. From Dortmund. We'll see you later.
Auf Wiedersehen, Charlie.
Charlie. Pet.